what is the actually role of a proxy-based firewall? Uh, So, need answer, sir. Interviewer, what exactly want for this question?
So see, proxy, architecture of proxy. Proxy basically do one thing, like on behalf of you, it is
If
going to.
you write, then it is also good for us, sir.
Yeah, definitely. Let me. So in proxy, we have the proxy architecture and we have the basic firewall architecture. So if I talk about the proxy architecture, it means something is coming from your LAN infrastructure, right? Let me show you how it is going to happen. Something is coming from your LAN infrastructure, and on behalf of you, right? On behalf of you, let's suppose this is my source IP address, right? On behalf of you, data is going to be intercept here, right? And on behalf of you, it is going to create a session to the destination. And then when the packet is going to come, it will again analyze and again going to send back to you. Means there is no direct communication between client and server. No direct communication. That is a proxy. If there is no proxy, means directly server is going to communicate with the client. If there is a proxy, that means your all the traffic which is going from the LAN to WAN, it is always going to be intercepted, and your firewall is going to use a communication on behalf of you. This is a simple answer, no sir. You understand or not?
Yes, yes, yes. Means without proxy, it will means the end user will directly communicate to internet without any interference. And with proxy, it will directly not communicate with internet. Via proxy server, it will communicate.
Right, right.
Okay, okay, okay. And now another question, last one, means what is zone and exactly answer for this interview purpose.
So see, there is a two different zone in FortiGate have the different definition. Zone in Palo Alto have the different definition. So now tell me which firewall you are referring. If you are referring FortiGate,
FortiGate, FortiGate, yes.
FortiGate, okay. So FortiGate explained the zone. Probably you didn't remember that. So let me remove it. So in FortiGate, let's suppose I have to create some policy from LAN to WAN, okay? And this is again another LAN, right? So there are two ports we have, right? Port 3 and port 4. So if I want to create a policy, I cannot club these two ports in one go. Might be have the multiple ports. So even I can club, but I have to put manual entry again and again. But I create the zone. So by default, zone is going to map the two interfaces, three interfaces, four interfaces, more VLANs, whatever, even the 10 VLAN, 20, 100 VLAN. And based on that, we can create the policy. Means any traffic is coming from these 10 VLANs or interfaces, you can either allow the communication or deny the communication. So just to give the more flexibility to create the policy in aggregated way. That is the meaning of zone in the FortiGate firewall. And it is totally different in the Palo Alto firewall. It's no relation at all. Palo Alto have the completely different way of the zone concept. So
Okay, okay. So
you
how can we answer for this question, sir?
which one? What is a zone?
Yeah, what is the zone?
So zone is something, it's just going to give the aggregations concept where you can just apply the policy for the multiple interfaces, multiple VLANs, multiple subnet to just go from any LAN to WAN. Or might be you have the multiple WAN you want to go in the LAN, you can also get the zone and we can map the multiple interfaces. So if you go in the books as well, let me show you. Just give me 1 minute. If I want to show you I believe we cover these things in very first classes.
Yeah,
FortiGate.
yeah. Actually, I answered like a DMG zone. I have answered,
No,
but he want to exact which kind of
no,
device
that is not
actually.
DMG zone. Zone, you're not answering the correct thing. Zone is
Okay,
something.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
That's why he asking in
it,
depth this
no, this
question.
is DMG zone is just name, but what is the use of zone? That is you have to answer, right?
Yes,
So
I want to
here
answer
you
for
just go
this
in the
question.
interfaces and you just go here zone. You can see. So zone, let's suppose you have the multiple VLANs, multiple interfaces. So you can club them 1, 2, 3 VLANs in together and create one zone. And based on that, you can create the policy. So it's just helping to create the policy in more flexible way. That is the zone concept. It's not a DMZ zone or trust zone, untrust zone. It's not like that. Okay, you get it or not? So zone is the group one or more physical or virtual interfaces, just simple definition. And you create the firewall policy, the single one line answer, which I just explained. Got it? Read
Okay, yes,
it.
yes, yes, yes. Got it, sir.
Just to give the flexibility, not more than that. There is no segregation, nothing is going to happen, no zero trust exchange concept is going to be here. It's just segregation. Okay, Nazar,
Okay,
both
okay,
answer
okay.
clear to you?
Yes, yes, yes. And page number triple two. Okay, yes.
Triple
Noted.
two, just go and read it, okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now start for yesterday session.
Yeah. So guys, yesterday we tried to discuss the NAT, but somehow we unable to record. So let us start doing the NAT, destination NAT, especially from the scratch. So let me quickly brief you what is the destination NAT and what is going to happen again. So I'll just take the few minutes. So I explain the topology in this way. Let's suppose I have the request where I have the original packet. Just think about, and I have the translated packet. So original packet, translated packet, we have the source IP address, we have the destination IP address, again we have the source IP address, we have the destination IP address. So if we are on the internet and we want to talk any private IP address, by default this communication is not going to happen, as we discussed, right? Because public IP only can communicate with the public IP address. That is not possible. You can route the private addresses on the internet. This is the limitations. That's why we segregated private IP address range, we segregated public IP address range. So if this user sitting in the public network space, just think about this is the private range, but we considering as a public IP because we are in the lab, right? So we are doing the simulation world. So we are just considering this network as a public and this is the private. So this want to talk public network to the private. This is by default not possible because this private range is not routable over the internet. Then how it is going to happen? So when the communication we are going to start, my public destination means source like 192.168 1.122. If it want to go on this particular destination, it cannot go direct. So we have to take some IP address like 192.165 168.1.155. This is the my IP addresses I have here. It is configured as a free space IP address because we have taken the /24 network here. Dot 154 is a configure here and 155, 156 we are using for a different NAT purpose because we have taken from the ISP. You have to purchase the free IP pool and that IP must be advertised in the network world. Then only it is possible you can just do the NAT things. So if this want to access this IP address, first he need to come to the public IP address, which might be 192.168.1.155. Then your source is going to be same here, but destination must be have to translate. And this is going to 172.16.10.10. And this is going to remain same. And here you see my destination IP has been changed and this is known as the DNAT, right? Destination NAT. Then how it is going to happen in the FortiGate Firewall? So in FortiGate Firewall, we have two mode. We have the profile mode, firewall deployment, and we have the policy mode profile NAT deployment, right? So if I want to do the profile mode, I have to different way of doing the NAT communication. If I want to do the policy mode, I have to do a different way of the NAT communications. So let's first understand what is a profile mode NAT communication and how this NAT is going to work in the profile mode, right? So we understand we have the packet and the source IP and destination IP both are going to be public. But once the firewall is going to receive the destination IP address, based on this mapping, we need to translate the packet. Or might be I can just do another translation from 156 to this router as well. So let me just do that. And we know how it is going to be happen. So what I can do that, simply I'll go in the FortiGate firewall without wasting my time. First, I will check which mode my firewall is. So first go in the system and you just go in the settings And after going in settings, see my firewall right now in the policy mode, which is recommended, but we have to understand first the profile mode, right? So I have to convert my firewall in the NGFW mode, that is the profile mode. I can enable the central NAT here also. We'll discuss what is central NAT later on, but I'm not going to enable, I'll just apply it. Once I'll do that, all my existing policy configuration is going to wipe out from the network. Okay. So you see, I have applied it. And if I'm going in the security policy, see, I don't have any policy. The policy should be completely like implicitly denied. No new policy I have. If I go in the virtual, see, this virtual IP is basically acting as a destination NAT in the profile mode. But if you just change in the policy mode, this name is going to be changed as a DNAT and virtual IP. So this is again your destination NAT, but again new keyword is going to be added, and here again added is going to happen SNAT. There is a center NAT, again new tab is going to be added here as well. So I'm going to do the profile mode destination NAT. So I'm just going to use the virtual IP, which is just acting as my destination NAT. So first thing what I have to do that, let me just go in the virtual IP. I have old mapping. Let me first delete it. Okay. So I will tell from the scratch because yesterday we tried to discuss. So so there is no mapping. So first what I want this IP 1 to access 55 and then it get translated on this particular IP. So let me do the mapping. So first mapping, I'll create the virtual IP and I'll just tell WAN to, or I can say internet to LAN DNAT, destination NAT. And I'm going to tell from where the traffic is coming. Any interface, I don't care about the interface. I'm saying that if the any IP coming for this IP, which is 192.168.1.55, which we have taken from the ISP, because 54 is configured on this particular interface. Okay, so I will just go here and define the IP that 192.168.1.55. I can use the FQDN as well. What is FQDN? Fully qualified domain name. So if I have the FQDN, I can put the FQDN that is going to be translated into IP by the DNS. So that is not required here. And now where I want to map. So I want to map basically on the IP that is 172.16.10.10. This is my one mapping. So if anyone is going to hit this IP, that is going to translate it to this IP. This is the mapping. So let me draw again the table here. So the first packet you can understand. So the first packet and the second packet. So here I'll just use it again. So 192.168.1.112 and this is the 192.168.1.155. This is getting translated to the 192.16.10.10 and this source is going to remain same. This is my original packet, OP, and this is my TP, translated packet. Okay, in short, I just rated original packet and translated packet. So same mapping I have done. If any source is coming and hitting to this destination, I will do the translation. So my first mapping has been done. Now another, let's suppose this user want to access this particular router as well. So let me first explain this one. So this mapping done. We have the optional filter like I want to create some source address range also on which only I want to do the NAT. I can do that. I want to specify for the specific or special services also. That also I can do that. That is not required. I don't want to filter like more precisely which application you want to allow, which services you want to allow, not application services and especially the source address range. So I'm not going to do that. Port forwarding, let's suppose my traffic is coming on the 443, but I want to translate on 8081, like I'm doing in the lab, you can see. So traffic is coming 443 port and I am doing the port forwarding. So it is going to translate to 8081. So same thing I can do it here. I can use like 8080 as well. This is also possible. That is not required in port forwarding. But if you want to do that, it is possible. My first mapping has been done. Second mapping, let's suppose this PC want to access 156 IP address, then I want to translate the router access. So I have to do another mapping, one-to-one mapping. So let me do the another mapping. So, sorry, I will go here and create that internet to LAN router DNAT. And here I'll just put the IP, external IP 192.168.1.56, and this is a new IP address, and I'll just map it 172.16.10 dot. I will go and put 11. Let me see what is the router IP address here. It should be 12, I believe. Let me see it here. So I will go here and check the 12. So this is my 12. So I have done this mapping 12. So this has been done. So now my NAT mapping has been done. So the first requirement, mapping the IP address, it has been done. But let me just open this and let me show you the current communication, what is happening right now. So you can just put the PEC name, password is tour. So you can see here, let me close yesterday all the sessions. I'll initiate the new sessions. This is the window browser. And if I'm going to use like 156, why 156? Because if I'm going to access 156, this need to translate it on your router. But let me see, it is happening. So probably it is not going to work right now because there is no policy at all. See, it is not working. Even I just go and ping 156, it is not working. Ping is also not working. Even the 155, which is going to translate on the PC, that is also not working. So nothing is working right now. Still, we created the NAT. So what next? So the next is we have to create the policy. That is a security policy. NAT mapping we have done, but while creating the security policy, we have to very careful while defining the destination address. That destination address should be your virtual address, not the actual destination address. Let me go here and create the security policy, which we try to understand yesterday. So here I'm just going to create the policy from internet to LAN, right? LAN subnets. My traffic coming from which interface? That is the internet, the port 1. So I'll just put that is the interface of the port 1. Where they want to go, basically, they want to go on the port 2. That is my LAN. So I'll put the LAN, right? Are asking what is my source address. So basically, from internet, source could be anything. We cannot guess the source because if someone is coming with the internet, it could be any source. So I can just select the all. It should be more logical, right? So even you want to put the source, a specific subnet 192.168, it is possible I can create the one of the here group, like they create the subnet group, address group, and I can just add it here. But I'm not want to do that because it could be the any. Now, while designing when I'm going to define the destination, you have to be very cautious in the destination NAT. You don't have to put your actual destination range here, like subnet range. You don't have to put here. Means we don't have to put LAN subnet. You have to put your mapping, which is your actual mapping you have done. Means if any external is coming, you can see the mapping here 172, 192, 168, 1.56. We have to translate on this 172.16.10.12. So this mapping you have to do that. This is the first one. Means internet to LAN means this is going to, if someone is going to hit 155, this is going to translate it to the 172.16.10.10. So this is one mapping. Another mapping, someone is going to hit to 156. This is going to translate to the router. This is you have to done. So now we had done. Now I don't require anything. Also, I don't require this source NAT, right? And except flow base, and I'll just no other things I required here. You can see I just make sure policy is enabled. So I'll just done it. So you just have to put the services. Services I can put all, right? Click OK. So my policy has been created. Now my policy has been created. My NAT mapping also done. And I'm in the profile mode, right? Most important. So if I go again in this particular PC and see my ping start working. So if my ping start working and I want to check my current NATing, what is happening or not. So I just open my CLI from here directly from the GUI only. And I just run the command get system and session. I'll run the command list. See this IP, which is coming from 190 to 168.12. See, this is a source IP address. if it is hitting to 155, this is my destination IP address. This is getting translated on the 172.16.10.10. So this is my first translation, which have the answer, right? So this is absolutely working fine. But if I just go and initiate another traffic, let's suppose I just want to initiate another flow here. Let me, new window I'll open. And I'll ping it again, 192.168.1.156 this time. So this ping is also working. And if I just go here again and try to get system session list, you see, I have the another translation, means I'm coming with the same source, but this one, same source, but hitting to the my 56 IP, and this is getting translated on the router. So this actually request is going on the router. So this is how my source is getting, means source is not getting changed, my destination is getting changed. Now let me do another thing. I'll go in this particular web browser. I'm going to access the router access. Already we create some kind of the, see, we just on router, we done this kind of the configuration. Let me, means we enable the web access on the router. Let me show you. So if you guys missed that, so I just create the this command yesterday. I make this router as the HTTP server. I create this HTTP server authentication local and HTTP secure. Also, I create this one of the user to just log in, and username is Cisco and password is Cisco123. So basically, I can do HTTP of this router, means instead of CLI, I can take the GUI access. And the router IP is, you can see it right now, it's a 12, but I'm going to access this one. Means this mapping is going to happen. So I will come from this IP 192.168.1.112 and it will try to access 192.168.1.56 and translation is going to happen. Your source is going to remain same, but destination is going to be changed by this router IP at 10.12. So let me show you how it is going to happen. So I'm going on this particular web browser again. Let me go in the Linux PC and I will do this again. So see, it is asking the username. I'll put the Cisco password Cisco123. I'll try to open. Already I just try one more time yesterday, you know, guys. So here I have all the GUI access of the particular router. I can go in the diagnostic. I can execute the command. Let's suppose I want to execute the command like ping. I will just ping IP 192.168. That is my this IP original IP address. That is a public IP address. That is going to respond to this by router 168.1.156. And I'll put the repeat count. This could be the 10,000. So probably we'll see the ping is going to work. It's a huge packet, but let me see if it's working or not. Let me see. So see here, TCP session has been initiated. You can see clearly the TCP session has been initiated. Earlier it was ICMP, but right now I'm doing the HTTP. So TCP session has been created. So ping, basically I put the very high packet range. So I don't know it is going to work or not. Let me refresh the session. So I'll just go again and ping. Let me put this time 5,000. And let me see. It should ping. Let me go again. 56. Diagnostic exe. Let me show you the ping. Let me simply first ping without repeat. Okay, so actually I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm in the router. So router can ping the gateway, not it is going to ping 156 IP address. I'm doing something wrong test, so that why it's not pinging. So let me do the right ping. So sorry guys, I was just checking the wrong thing. So let me go here again and change the gateway. From router, I can use the gateway. Why the public IP? It is not reachable, right? 16.10.1. And see, it is going to ping. So we are able to ping. So it's working perfectly fine. And also we see that we have the TCP session. So it's proving that my session, which is coming from the WAN to LAN, if I am doing the HTTP, it's making the TCP session. If I am doing the ICMP, that is showing the as a ICMP session. So, but in both case, I have the destination NAT. In the HTTP case, I have the on port 80 based destination NAT available. So this is the another concept. Mark, any question?
No question. No question.
Okay. Still, you want, let's suppose you want my source also need to be changed. My destination also need to be changed. Let's suppose what does means I want to change my source as well. Means whatever the traffic I'm receiving right now, it is coming to this IP and this IP is changing. Means destination is changing, but in both of the scenario, my source is getting remain same. My source is not changing. Let me show you. Gate session, gate system session list. So in both the scenario, my source is remain same, only destination changing here. But I want to do the source NAT also. That is a dual NAT concept in the profile base. So how can I do that? So if you want to do this dual NAT, then you have to go in the policy again here. And in the same policy, you have to enable the source NAT as well. How can you enable that? You just go in the policy, and after going in a policy, here is a NAT, and just use the any pool. Let's suppose I want to not use the interface IP address. So I can create my pool here, and this pool would be, let me create the public IP pool. I need to purchase this from the ISP, and I use the overload type and give the range here. So my range I can use like 192, 168, 1 dot, might be the 191, and I'll just go till I just use the 5 IP only. So 196. So total 5 IPs there. So I'll just click it here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 IPs there, right? So I'll just use this pool, right? And done. So I'm doing the destination NAT. How destination NAT? Based on this particular thing. Let me just go and show you. Based on this particular destination virtual IP mapping, I'm doing the destination NAT. But also I'm saying source also need to be changed. Why? If anyone coming from any source, that should be translated on this particular IP pool, which I just created. So let me show you. So what is going to happen? I'll go again and I'll just generate some traffic from this PC. So see, this is already pinging, and I didn't stop anything. And let me show you what is happening here. So ping is still working. So gate system session list. So now you see both ping is working. The traffic is coming from 112. It is hitting to 192.168.1.55. It is translated on this IP address. But this time your source also getting changed, guys. Most important, you can see your source also getting changed. Here also your source getting changed. So this is the beauty of the destination NAT. If I just go again and do some kind of the router access. So let me try to do some router access, resend the message. Let me try again. So I'll take the web GUI access. So again, I'm in here, and let me do some execute ping command. So let me just run this command, and I'll make that 15,000 this time. So this ping is going to be initiated. Ping is working. And I just go here and just run this list. See, so I have another TCP session has been created. See, because I have taken the HTTP access, and this is showing your traffic is coming from 112, and this source is getting NAT on the 192.168.1.93 with a different port number, and then your destination is this, and this is also getting NAT on the 12 IP address. So this is known as the dual NAT concept. Means in profile mode, I can do the dual NAT. Okay, so this is dual NAT. Earlier, my source NAT was not happening in the destination NAT scenario. Only I was changing the destination NAT where my destination IP was changing, and then I changed my source IP. I hope now it is clear to everyone, right? It's much clear. done yesterday, right? No, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I just really wanted to make the more like precise, because NAT always going to be confusing to the people when you go for the interview. So we understand this, how the firewall is going to do the destination NAT in profile mode. We understand about the dual NAT concept, destination NAT concept. Now, if I go again in the profile section, right? And you have see here in the system always, you just go settings. So just in the profile mode also, we have the central NAT. So right now central NAT is disabled. But if you want to enable the central NAT, you can just enable from here. Once you apply it, your central NAT is going to be visible. So you just go here and you are going to see the central NAT available here. Let me show you. So let me go. Oh, sorry, SNAT is, we just have to enable.
You didn't apply it. Okay.
Let me apply. Done, right? So basically this central NAT is not going to apply from the CLI. Okay, let me just go in the feature visibility. We have to apply from the CLI because it's like something not working in GUI. Let me go in the feature visibility first. Central NAT. Do you guys able to see somewhere here is central NAT? No, right?
Can you search sir central NAT in the search bar?
Just give me 1 minute. Let me find the document. Search bar, it is not, there is no search bar, right? So we don't have any central NAT here, right? So let me try from the CLI. CLI, it must be work, right? So let me go in the CLI, and if I want to enable the central NAT, so I will go in the config system setting. This should be the command, and I just enable set central NAT enable. So cannot enable central with the firewall policy using the IP pool. Okay, so basically we created already pool, so we have to delete this first pool. Okay, so this is the region it is giving the error. So let me just delete this one first. Already you understand, right? I just wanted to show how central NAT can be enabled. So I need to disable, I need to delete, but I cannot delete because we have the reference number. See here first. So until we have the reference number enabled with this particular mapping, we cannot delete it. So first we have to delete the reference number. So it is going to delete from here, and then only we can delete it. So first we deleted this one, and let me go here and delete this one also. So this is done, right? And now I can delete it. So let me delete it, and let me delete it. So this has been done. Now let me go and try one more time from GUI, then I will try with the CLI. CLI give the logical, even the errors. GUI, you don't getting any errors, right? So this is the beauty, you can try with the GUI and CLI both. So let me try again. So this time I enable, and let me see if I can see the central NAT, and see we are start getting the central NAT. So once I enable the central NAT, again we have the mapping concept here, like destination NAT and the virtual IP. So what we have to do that, again we have to do the mapping. This mapping will remain same, means your translation is going to be done here. Definitely it is going to happen here. But from the policy, let me show you. Your policy has been changed again. Means my firewall is still, in the which mode? Profile mode. But due to I enable the central NAT, my policy has been changed. You can see profile mode, I enable the central NAT. But if I go in the policy base, right, the central NAT is going to by default enable. So still my policy has been all gone. And if I want to create the policy, let me just create the policy. So if I create the policy, So I can just create internet to LAN, right? I just make the very straightforward policy. Incoming interface, this one, outgoing interface, this one, right? Source, this time you can see all. Destination, you are not seeing in the virtual IP address. See, the virtual IP address has been gone now. So you have to put actual destination IP address. If your central NAT enable, then you not put the virtual IP address, because virtual IP address has been added with a destination NAT. So you have to do the NAT here only. Here just put the actual subnet. That's all. Services you can put all and just click OK. Here we don't have any kind of the source NAT as well. So I click OK. So this is my policy only. But I have to create the NAT, destination NAT. How can I create? I just go in the here in central NAT and I just go here and I'll just make sure my traffic will come this port, going on this port. Sorry, the port 2 only. This port I'm going. Source, let me understand, like source should be any. And destination, this time I can use the my LAN subnet, right? So by using the LAN subnet, right, by default, based on this destination NAT mapping, it is going to do the NAT. Let me show you. I don't have to call this destination NAT somewhere, but we have the mapping. So based on this mapping, it will just translate. So first we create the policy based on the plain source and destination. Very easy. Again, you have to enable the central NAT based on the source and destination and port and whatever the source port, destination port, and you just click OK. So this central NAT mapping also done. This is your destination mapping is there. Even we don't have any reference, we are nowhere calling. But let me show you again. So if I'm going in the Linux PC, let me go here. And if I just go and enable it, and if I just go, you can see that this is still pinging without any issue. I'm able to ping 56, right? And if you go here in the CLI again and get system session list, see, still you have the source NAT, not dual NAT happening here, because dual NAT we not allow dual NAT. So still we have the source NAT. So any traffic is coming from 112 for 55, it is getting translated on the 10 and 56 getting translated on 12. So central NAT is absolutely working fine without any problem, guys, without any hiccups, without any hurdles, and without any reference. There is no reference. We just simply create the policy source to means LAN to WAN, sorry, WAN to LAN, and also we enable the central NAT from WAN to LAN. We just map the actual source, which is coming from the WAN, actual destination, which is going to the LAN. But we are not calling. There is no reference. But still, my firewall is intelligent and they are doing the mapping because they have the way of design architecture to work this. So if I go again in central NAT and I do the dual NAT, so it is going to absolutely work. How? I just go here and enable the NAT again, and I just use the dynamic pool which I created. It is not going to show me here, so I'll just create the public IP pool, right? And I'll just use the, here is my 192.168 1 dot. I'll use the range this time 195, sorry, 195 to, I'll use the range like 192.168 1 dot 200, okay? Or 199 or 198, okay? Any IP you can use. So what is wrong in it? Invalid IP range?
Sir, in the third octet, fourth octet is not mentioned, sir. First IP में.
Okay. Here.
Yes.
Thank you. So this is corrected, okay? So I'll just map it here again and just apply it. Still everything working, right? You see ping is still going on. But most interesting thing, if I go in the CLI and I just show you again, see, my start having the NAT, and let me initiate a TCP. So my dual NAT is happening with the central NAT as well. So my source is getting changed, my destination is getting changed, both is happening for the ICMP. Let me initiate for the router access as well. So we'll get the web port 80 on the HTTP server. So I'll go and initiate the connection again, and I'll just go and run the command ping. So I will just initiate. So this is going to even see TCP session also. And see, this is getting the translated 198 address. So this is my firewall is still in
Sir,
the, yes, please
yeah,
go ahead.
show me command line prompt.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, IP address after port number is showing. So how port number it will come?
So see, I explain, we have the two type of the like
Port.
basically PAT, right? So first PAT is the overload.
Yes,
Overload on the interface. You got it? And how
yes.
many port you are going to get? 60416
Six.
port
Yes,
maximum,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Want to increase the port, then which PAT you have to do that? You have to use the overload, and you can
Yeah.
put the multiple IP. So your port is going to increase. So we are doing the multiple IP. So just it's the pad, but we are just initiating with the single IP test. So it is just going to take the same range, but the port are different only.
So in this range, it will randomly
Pick any
took
source, any
yeah,
destination. Yeah,
yeah,
anything
randomly
randomly
took
pick.
any port number.
Yes. If I want to specific IP address, then I can just have to change the overall. Let me change the range. Okay. So you'll just get the one IP address. You just go in central NAT. And I want to use the one IP address. So let me just go here and edit the port. Okay. And I'll use the 195 to 1, just single IP address. But how many communication you can make on now? Only 60416. Clear, Nosal? So now let me see the
Yes.
translation again. So if I do the translation, see, it will start happening on the 195. Clear? I
Okay,
changed
okay,
one
yeah.
single IP
Yes, yes,
address.
yes.
You can see let's take it random port. So this is how we can understand about the central NAT in the policy, how it is going to be done, right? And how it is going to be enabled. So already we discussed, right, about the another type of the NAT in yesterday, that was the profile mode. So I believe you guys are aware. Mama Kina, it's a clear, everything is clear now.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay.
So we discussed already this one, yesterday, right? For which you have the recording as well, the policy based NAT, and we did the same thing, right? Everything. So I believe we are in the good shape, and we have the good understanding now. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So what else we can do that? So let me see. So just give me 1 minute.